as you know, the social media channel is very busy, very fast paced, and in the consumer care piece of it, there's a lot of folks involved. There's yourself, of course, and then there's oftentimes marketing folks, perhaps, their agency, and maybe internal community managers, as well as brand ambassadors in your call center or a third-party call center. So it's very busy, busy little sandbox. Hi, my curious colleagues. It's Denise Finieri. I realize these are highly unusual times, so my hope is that this video today brings you a little diversion and perhaps a little inspiration. For those of you who are new to the channel, which is pretty much everybody, I'm sure, a little background on me. I am a brand specialist analyst for a large CPG company, and I've been doing that type of role in consumer engagement for the past 20 years. And my hope here is to start a channel for people like myself. Basically, I want to talk to myself, apparently. Those people who really want to continuously care deeply for consumers in consumer care function, as well as continuously learn. So even if you're brand new to these roles or you've been experienced, hopefully there'll be maybe one idea that will help inspire you. So tip number one is you gotta stay organized. You gotta know who's doing what, when. Now the reason that benefits you, my friend, is because the more you understand your particular model in this space, the more then you'll be able to ensure that the responses are crafted appropriately for the social media channel, so that the brief, that they're in voice, they're in tone, they're really reflecting the voice of the brand, and also to make sure that if you need to craft FAQs, that you are working jointly with your perhaps community managers or the agencies or marketing to bring those FAQs to life. So one model is where the consumer engagement folks like myself would be responsible for all product and packaging concerns, maybe some where to buy questions, as well as ingredients and nutrition questions. One of the reasons that we are equipped to handle those is because these are comments from consumers that are often found in other channels, and we have that expertise in our knowledge base. And it is a matter of adapting those responses to the channel. Now, the rest of the folks, say the marketers, agencies, or community managers, their expertise is really in brand building, so creating content and pushing that out, and also building relationships. So you want those folks to work with the bloggers and the influencers. So they may also be handling the praise or the compliment type of comments from consumers, because that's their skill set. So you got to know your model. So the other model that I have seen is, especially if it's perhaps maybe it's a startup or a newly acquired brand, the marketers may have been the ones to really manage that channel, crafting the content, pushing it out, handling all the types of comments from consumers. And that model may work perfectly as this business is ramping up. So then your role would really be more as a consultant to those folks. So know your model and stay organized. So let's talk about tip number two. Communication, communication, communication. And this could be a couple of different ways. So basically, you really need to be available to support the rest of the brand and other folks that are in this space. So in order for everyone to stay effectively communicating in this space, there's a couple things you could do. Now, one of them is the traditional back and forth in emails, and that can work depending on the volume. Another is to set up a Slack account, which can also work. I know that I had used that for sort of a new startup, but what really seems to be working effectively is to set up a private Facebook account. So all parties that have their hands in this channel can speak together in this one space. So it's a one-stop shopping where you need to go. So questions that may come up, largely it's the brand ambassadors or the community managers may be reaching out to everyone. So it's a nice place for you to go to help answer questions and comments that you might be able to jump in on. So one of them might be questions about whether or not this new product is launching nationally, or is it regional, or which stores. There's also questions about, detailed information regarding the preparation of the product or the packaging that it comes in. You also want to make sure that brand ambassadors have an opportunity to raise potential scams or trolls and get the opinion of the folks in the group as to whether or not they should engage. And question might be even as simple as just removing a post. And now for the third tip. You want to audit and then communicate. So you really should be auditing this channel, monitoring, however you want to call it, like any other channel. But again, you've got to really be at the ready with understanding that voice and tone that needs to be there. So one way that I have found successful is to set up a tweet deck. This is a, more or less a dashboard that can be set up in Twitter. I believe it's free. You can look at a variety of your branded accounts all in one fell swoop and keep up with what's going on those brands. Another opportunity to communicate is if you're lucky enough to have a third-party social media tool that's being used to respond to consumers, and go in there periodically and spot check and audit there. And if you don't have a third-party tool, no problem. You can go ahead and look at your channels natively. Staying close to your various brands in these couple of tools that I've just outlined gives you an opportunity to know what's going on, and then you can communicate and really work together to always to be optimizing that particular channel. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe? This way you'll know when my next video is coming out. I am working on doing this monthly for now, and hopefully more frequently. Thank you so much for your time. Please stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.